Good morning and welcome back to this week's episode of Good Morning Greyhounds. I am your co-host Landon Coons. Andile Becker joins me and we're joined by student government here today. So hopefully you guys enjoy the show.
Okay, good morning, Stefano. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you here. So you are the newly appointed president of the Student Government Association here at UND. How do you feel? How's it been this semester?
Thank you guys for the invitation. I would like to be really thankful for the invitation to UND TV. Thank you, DLA. I think I'm really grateful for being the president of UND, having and leading the student body of 6,000 people. Now, I feel like we are really focused on different ideas and different things that we want to do on campus. So we're really excited about that.
Okay, and I've had the pleasure of having you as a teammate, our freshman year. What's it been like not being on the team? Like, what's that extra time been doing for you? How have you filled that? I'm assuming, been filled with a lot of administrative stuff. So what sort of additions have you had, like, apart from your schoolwork so far?
I think it's a lot. I mean, always I see this as an opportunity to be better as a person and grow as a human being. I think one of the main things that I have been new is that, for example, I wake up at 6, that I used to wake up with practice. But sometimes I start working out, I start doing different things, get ready for class. And then after classes or between classes, I have different meetings with different administration or faculty members. So I think having this new routine and this new daily style, it's really different and amazing for me. Now, looking for the future, I think that's what I'm looking for in a business style some kind of way, so I need to get used to it.
Absolutely. So, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background and like how you decided to come to UND? Like, tell us about your journey.
Thank you. So, and that's an amazing question. Thank you for that. I'm from Lima, Peru, South America. I think one of the main things that I wanted to come here is because I wanted to have more opportunities as a first developing country. Then I was being part of the swimming team because I was swimming for the national Peruvian swimming team, and also I was practicing water polo, so I was also practicing for the Peruvian national team. And then I think I recruited at that time by the S2E8 that I was our head coach. And then kind of started from there. When I was a freshman, I think I had different language barriers. Sometimes it's difficult. I think always we're learning in the language, and even sometimes I've spoken English for no more than 4 years. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it's difficult, a little bit to just actually point and give my idea. Now, after deciding on my freshman year that I wanted to do a business management with a political science minor and an honors concentration, then I think everything went by its own weight, I see this student government as an opportunity to actually help and listen to all the students and actually be more engaged in the community. So I think always I do it because of my family. I want to make them proud. I want to make myself better each day, and I'm going from there.
I know you mentioned something about honors, What's your role on the honors committee that we have here at UND?
Well, I was invited the second semester of the freshman year, and then I needed to do a little bit of application, and then after that, I was the events coordinator for a semester, and then I'm just getting ready for my service learning project, but it's gonna be next year. Probably I'm gonna work with Professor Mariana Fulcourt, doing something for the expo next year that we're hosting, the UND Expo.
It's going to be really exciting.
Yes.
Now, I know you have a lot of responsibilities, right? So how do you kind of balance your academic responsibilities within the student association?
Could you elaborate a little bit more on the question, please?
So, I mean, how do you balance your life between doing the student government stuff and I would say the swimming side of stuff as well?
I used to be a swimmer. I'm not swimming anymore. Okay. So I think if I would say how I balance academics, for example, and then the student government, I think sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes it's difficult to find time. We have just only 24 hours a day. So sometimes I would like to have more. But then also, if I am good with myself and taking care of myself, then I can be a good team member for the board. and then I could be a good leader in the community. So I think always thinking the best ways that I can take care of myself out of my business hours, and then looking forward to just focus on what I want to do in the community, and then what I want to do with my career. I think it's a great way to see it. I think I'm really clear, and I have really clear my ideas that what I want to do in the future.
So speaking of those goals and ideas, what are your main focuses for towards the end of the semester and moving forward as the president?
I think one of the main things that I have is that for this first semester, because SGA was new, we are doing a strong foundation. We didn't have anything before. So as I said, sometimes when you want to, for example, create a new organization and you don't have anything, sometimes you don't know where to start. And that's the thing that many people doesn't know about, but sometimes it's difficult to see, how I want to live this. What's my main vision? What's my main mission for the UND community? So then as soon as we have clear the ideas and know what we want to do as a team, then we can go from there. So we didn't have any SGA contact, for example. Our 5 members, that is my vice president, Anders Desai, then we have our communications role, that is Melanie Thompson, then we have our student athlete chair, that is Tim Thompson too, and then we have our social justice chair, that is Sofia Ramirez. So I think all of them, they take an amazing role on the SGA board, and then together we can be a better team. We believe that we are stronger together.
So what does your day-to-day life look like being the president of the Student Association?
Well, I think always I like to keep myself busy. Even though if I'm the president or not, I like to keep myself busy. So I could start at 6 a.m. in the morning and then go to the gym, or either if I don't go to the gym, I just keep studying, to make sure that I'm a successful student and good example in and outside the classes. And then I can go to class around 9, 10. I get coffee before class, I need to. And then I have a little break, 11 to 12. So I usually have, each day I have lunch with my board members. So for example, I know that Tuesdays are for Andras, Wednesdays I think is for Tim, and then Thursdays are for Sofia, and then Fridays are for Mallory. Awesome. So I make sure that we have a good environment, a good work environment, and then after lunch I go back to class, and then after class I just have 2 minutes per day, and then I just study until 10, 11, and then I go to home. Sometimes I need to get things done because I always believe that the teamwork is amazing that we have right now. So I delegated tasks to different board members, and I need to work a little bit more. So I make sure that everything is done. And if they cannot accomplish because also they have an academic life, I do it for them. Yeah. So I make sure that everybody is on the same page.
Yeah, it's all about balancing, academics and stuff. But for those who don't know, do you guys have an office where someone could come in and speak to you if they need to?
Yes, we have different office hours during the day. I believe it's from 4 to 6 every day. Now we are looking to improve and have more office hours for everyone with more board members. Now we have our office is located in 207 Switzer, so it's the second floor, almost if you go towards the gym. And it's always open. The door is always open for the ones who want to just come to say hi, or just to explain a little bit better what are we doing for SGA. We have snacks, we have free drinks. So if you guys would like, you guys are more than invited.
So that was 207 in the Student Schwartz Center?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect.
Alrighty, and we're gonna. My final question for you is what is your goal and visions for the Student Association this year?
I think right now we're focusing our dinner. We have dinner coming up. We're looking for around 125 students. I would like to send the invitation for you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Of course, anytime. And then we're looking around 125 people, 25 faculty members, administration, and then 100 students. So we can explain what was the past for student government, what is the present for student government, and what are we looking to do for the future. And then basically just start from next semester. We already have the foundation, we already have the constitution, we already know what we need to do on campus, so we're more than happy for that.
All right, thank you so much for joining us in this first block.
Thank you.
We'll be back soon, and next time we'll have Andras Tazai with us, and welcome back, and stay tuned for Good Morning Greyhounds.
leave it to our actual athletes? Watch UND-TV's live sports broadcast on GLVCSN and YouTube.
The first time I went to Lucas Oil was last year for the 6A Center Grove versus Carroll State High School football game. And I walk in this time thinking I know what's going on, thinking I know what's going to happen. And if I were to say that Lucas Oil lost any effect on you, just the pure vastness that it hits you when you walk in, I'd be wrong. And Jace put it perfectly. He walked in and said, wow, this is the dream. And it is, because the people that we look up to listen to a high school football game of the week on WICR HD3 UND Radio.
Welcome back to Good Morning Greyhounds. Thank you, Andras, for being here with us. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you come from, how you got to UND?
Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the invitation. My name is András Tisza. I'm from Hungary, Vice President of the student body. I came here 2019 December, started the semester 2020 January. As we can all remember, that was COVID year, so we were all sent back home in March. Yeah. So that was my first semester of the undergrad program in the School of Business. I was studying business administration management. I was also passionate about economics and finance, so I picked up some minors on the way. And then I kind of just shifted to the MBA, to the master's department, and that's how I kind of started off here.
Can you share about your journey from being a member of the UND swim team to now leading a student association?
Yeah, of course. So as I said, I came here 2020 January. I was part of the swim team as a swimmer for about 3.5 years. Participated in the nationals, was one of the top scorers at nationals. And then I kind of just shifted to a coaching life. I'm a graduate assistant for the swim team because I had a back injury last season. So I had to shift from being a swimmer to now being a graduate assistant. Actually, I'm coaching Andile sometimes. Yeah. So that was basically the shift from swimming into the coaching position. And then I got the opportunity to be a leader on campus, and that's how I became the vice president of the student body.
I mean, yeah, you are my coach from time to time. So how is that experience in, helping out in the swim team and like that side of leadership, how does that help you into becoming a leader as a vice president?
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, I feel like I always was passionate about helping people in a smaller group like the swim team, helping sign up for classes. If someone like a freshman came, a business major, I tried to assist them with the curriculum, like explaining the classes, explaining the schedules, especially if they are fellow Europeans like me. The school system is a little bit different there. So I feel like I always try to help them register for classes, find the best housing. And I feel like that passion of like helping others just became a bigger role with the student government. And now instead of helping like 100 people in the swimming team, now we are working with 5,000-6,000 students and listening to their concerns.
So what are some key leadership skills that you think are essential for your role?
I would definitely say teamwork, communications, and basically just be a hard worker. I feel like those are the three most important skill set for a leader. Yeah.
So, I mean, we brushed on a little bit with Stefano earlier, but what does your day-to-day life look like? I mean, you're on the graduate program, you're assistant swim coach, and vice president of the Student Association. So how do you balance all of that? And give me a breakdown of your day. What does it look like?
Well, it's definitely going to be a very busy schedule, but I feel like we swimmers are used to that. Yeah. We used to wake up at 5 a.m. every day. Yeah. I've been swimming for 20 years, so my time management skills, I think those came from the swimming past, and I feel like with time management you can balance these things. I wake up fairly early in the morning, work out, go to PT. I'm doing physical therapy because of my back, so I usually start my day with that. Then I grab breakfast, depending on the meeting. If we have morning meetings or afternoon meetings, I'm attending those. Sometimes I have classes during the day, sometimes I have night classes. It really depends on the day. I don't really have like a usual day of like 9 to 4. I feel like sometimes we've been calling each other late at night if it's something urgent regarding the SGA or anything related to the student body. If there's a concern coming in, I feel like we don't really have like set office hours within the board members. So my day is basically just very busy from, 6 a.m. in the morning until like 10 p.m. or maybe midnight if you're working late.
Yeah. So you mentioned you came here January 2020, and 2 months later, that's when the whole pandemic happens. What was that transition like coming to America and then immediately pandemic hits. What was that like?
Yeah, so that first semester, although it was only 3 months, I felt like the longest semester of my life. I don't know, for Andila, maybe for you it's a similar experience, but for me, the freshman semester was the hardest, just to figure out what's going on campus, the living situation, the food situation. And I feel like because I know that happened to me, I know that that's happening to our fellow students in the swim team or in other athletics program. Maybe they are coming from far away like us. And I'm just always trying to help them, because I know that for me, it was a very difficult time, the first semester especially. So when I, for example, worked in the admissions office, giving tours to potential students of the university, I tried to help them locate where's the dining hall is. If they are a business major, I told them about the office hours for the professors, or where are the tutoring resources are. I feel like it's just with help, I feel like I received a lot of help, and I'm also trying to just give back, because that first semester was a bit long for me, although it was only 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a number of international students on the SGA board. So do you guys feel like an extra responsibility to help either other international students, or do you guys feel like, obviously your goal is to help everyone, but do you feel like there's just sort of that connection already?
Yeah, as you mentioned, we have a very diverse board, have people from South America, from the Caribbean, Jaron Thompson, and also we have 2 Americans on the team, and I feel like that just only helps us with the wide set of thinking that we are all around the place. I'm from Europe, so I feel like that definitely helps. We don't necessarily feel a special responsibility for the international students. We also try to help all the RSOs, because we're trying to approach every one of the students. But for example, we collaborated with the International Student Association this Sunday. We went to a Pacers game with them. They were one of the most active RSOs to reach out to us, one of the earliest one that we reached out to, and we are trying to connect with more RSOs to reach a more diverse and just the whole community of UND.
I mean, it sounds like you guys are busy. So how does your role as vice president differ from Stefano's role as president? Is there an overlap, or do you guys have very separate roles?
So we have some overlap. We are trying to collaborate on a daily basis, but there are some times when I have to attend a meeting on my own with other board members, or just completely by myself. Sometimes you attend meetings together. Stefano is usually leading the meetings. We have regular meetings every Tuesday at 2 p.m. For example, today we have the provost, Chris Pluff, coming to visit our meeting. Those are happening every week. So I feel like he's leading the meetings, but all of us are collaborating and working together as much as we can.
And so you said you have the provost today, right?
Yes.
So do you guys have a lot of the faculty members meeting you guys on a regular basis and discussing?
So of course we are trying to connect with senior faculty members on a weekly basis. We're trying to reach out, especially if we have student concerns. For example, we met with the dining services last week. So we're trying to connect with the faculty members, because I feel like the whole SGA is just to make a bridge between the student population and the faculty members, especially senior faculty members. We are trying to meet with them on a daily or weekly basis.
And you guys feel like you guys are being heard during these discussions?
Yes, I absolutely feel that. For example, we had a meeting with the dining hall. They provided some very valuable information about student feedback, for example, that they set up the QR codes at every one of the stations. They are really listening to our concerns. And for example, I know we received some concerns regarding the dining hall, but I can confidently say that I think we all been to the dining hall. I definitely can say that it's been a huge improvement, and I know they are listening to the student concerns as well. So the only thing I can tell the students is to reach out to us, reach out to dining services, reach out to anyone particular if you have any concerns regarding the school.
Sounds good.
All right, we're going to step aside here one more time. Here, we'll be back right after this on Good Morning Greyhounds.
Are you feeling alone in your faith? UND Catholic gives you an opportunity to get involved in a religious community on campus, providing sacramental needs and fellowship for prospective students and giving you a sense of belonging.
We just want you guys to know that God loves you, He delights in you, and He's in awe of you, and we would love to meet you. So you should come on out.
UND Catholic, a community for you.
For children who may have high-functioning autism, may have ADHD, processing challenges, working memory issues, sensory integration issues, those types of challenges. It's a place where human beings are valued, children are respected. It's a progressive school that takes a hands-on approach to education.
Welcome back to Good Morning Greyhounds. So for this last block, we have both of you on. We're going to ask you guys some questions, general questions about your missions and your goals for the Student Association. But first, what inspired both of you to run for these roles? I mean, I remember seeing Stefano in Schwitzer with his little board up advertising himself. So yeah, what inspired both of you guys to run for president and vice president?
Would you like to go first?
Sure. Yeah, I can go ahead. Well, I was a late addition to the board. Stefano asked me around July or August this year to join the board. And as I mentioned earlier, for me, kind of the reason to become part of the board was that I also always was passionate about leading people and also helping them. For example, in the swim team, as I mentioned, in the smaller setting, but I just wanted to make it like a bigger change and help more people. So that was my initial motivation to be part of the SGA.
I think one of the main things that I wanted to do inspires me more is to help people, to be a huge impact, a positive impact on campus. So I think always I wanted to be, someone that they can see, someone who can help, But in the daily basis, always we are more than happy, to listen to student concerns and see which way we can address them,
So right now, what are some of the challenges that you guys are anticipating or have anticipated in your guys' new roles, and how do you plan to address them?
I think one of the main challenges that we had is sometimes the lack of communication because SGA is new. We have had a little bit of communication issues with the administration and the faculty. They didn't know us, and we're trying to get out there to see and to show ourselves a little bit, and then having those connections, long-term connections for the future SGAs on campus, and these SGAs, right? And this SGA, I think is amazing. Now, always we look for that solution. We don't really like to complain about what's going on. We really like to see that solution, and we believe if the opportunity doesn't come to us, we go and find it.
And so, you guys have been good friends for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
How did you envision working together, and has there been any challenges you've seen, or has it been smooth sailing so far?
I think working with this guy is easy. He's super amazing. He's super friendly. Always we look that way that we can have an open dialogue or open communication. So always we have good feedback. See the ways that we can improve as a team. Always, I first think that they are people before the work. Yeah. So always I first make sure that he's okay, and then if he's okay, he can do like amazing work within the team.
So what changes or improvements do you guys wish to bring to campus life here at UIndy?
Well, I just wanted to go back to the challenges a little bit more in depth. That I feel like all the organizations on campus or even outside in the corporate world face basically three challenges. It's money, time, and probably energy. So we are facing those three major things. Other than first, we thought that probably lack of participation might be an issue, but it turned out that we were wrong about that because the students are very engaged. They're giving us their concerns. They're coming to the meetings, they're coming to the events. We had tabling events. We have a dinner coming up December 4th. We are expected to have 125 people. So I feel like participation is not an issue as we initially thought. And working with Stefano, yeah, it's been great. We have worked closely, of course. First, we're trying to stay friends, like talking about those things. But then, of course, the work has to be. And yeah, it's been great so far. Yeah.
So what improvements or goals do you guys have for campus life?
So I'm just gonna go quick on that, but I feel like we're trying to address all the student concerns. So it doesn't matter what we want to change. It matters what the students want to change. So we are listening to their concerns, and of course we have those three challenges of money, time, and energy. But what's in our power, we will try to solve every possible issue that we get. That we will try to fix those things.
And then you said it's for the students. How are you guys able to hear the feedback from the students?
So we always, right now we're looking to provide different ways to communicate with students. Mm-hmm. So we have the Google Forms, we have this SGA email, we have the social media. So always, actually we didn't hear a lot sometimes about students' concerns because they think that we are gonna see the names and look who he or she is. But right now, I feel like we are looking the way that we can do anonymous student concerns and have the feedback from them. So that's why I like what we're looking at right now.
And I just also wanted to add two other things. That one is probably in person. Some people are reaching out to us in person with their concerns. And another one is a direct email to our SGA account or to our personal account. We also receive feedback from those sources.
All right. And I mean, you guys have very important positions on the board. So have you guys received any sort of mentorship in preparation? And if so, how has that helped you?
I think, going back to your question, I think everybody's important. Because I think we don't believe that anyone is above us, and we don't believe that anyone is below us. So I think just giving that message to the team is great. And then right now we are receiving mentorship from different two people. We have Abigail Posma, our advisor, SEA advisor. She's located, she has her office in Student Affairs. And then we have Connor Donovan, that is our SEA consultant. So we actually, and I'm the one meeting more with them, and then with Abigail, we meet together.
So what kind of advice would you guys give to students who are looking to get involved in SGA?
I think first, SGA is a great opportunity to see and put yourself out there. Depends on what you're looking for the future, I think it would be amazing if you first evaluate what you want to do on campus. And then I think if you want to be part of the SGA board, we have a different way to apply, and we have an interview process and everything, so we actually see that you have a good fit for the team. But yeah, I mean, like first, I think what you want to do on campus is the main question that you need to ask yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to add that, of course, it depends on if you're looking for a position on the board, or if you just would like to be like an active member, like kind of like just communicating with us and helping as the SGA moves forward. But we have, I think, 1 or 2 opening positions that we are trying to fill right now. We have interviews coming up, so I feel like if I can give you an advice, probably just to reach out to us, and we can provide you with more detail, job descriptions. We created all those forms, as Stefano mentioned, with the Constitution in the beginning, that we didn't have a foundation, so we kind of started to implement and work on those things.
I want to add, if you allow me to.
Yeah.
I think doing the collaborations, working with different organizations on campus, I think there is a misconception, and SGA is here for you and work with you. So sometimes they think, oh no, SGA wants to take my organization. No, we don't take anything. We don't want to oversee anything. We don't want to control or be controlled in any kind of way. What we want to do is collaborate with them, make one team together, one family, one big unity family, and then see different ways. We don't want to take any credit about the organization. We just want to work behind the scenes to help them to have a succeed event, to be successful in any event that they may have. So we want to work and collaborate with them to see more people engaged on the community and more people engaged in different events that they may have.
I think you guys have been doing a brilliant job so far.
Thank
you so much for joining us. We will see you guys next Tuesday with our UND President, Dr. Tanuja Singh, and this has been Andila Becker, and joined by Landon Coons, Andras Cesar, Stefano Ibarra. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next Tuesday on 8:30, UND TV. Good morning, Greyhounds.
There's often a moment when you're helping somebody with math where they just suddenly get over that little barrier and they get it. It's a nice aha moment, and I really like being involved in helping students achieve that moment, and we do get a lot of those here in the tutoring lab.
The first time I went to Lucas Oil was last year for the 6A Center Grove versus Carroll State High School football game. And I walk in this time thinking I know what's going on, thinking I know what's going to happen. And if I were to say that Lucas Oil lost any effect on you, just the pure vastness that it hits you when you walk in, I'd be wrong. And Jace put it perfectly. He walked in and said, wow.